Good evening and welcome to Community Forum. I'm your host, Jacqueline Perez-Ares, and today we have the founders of the Latino Scholarship Fund, Ileana Velasquez and her husband, Peter Kalman. Welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. If you wouldn't mind, if you would provide us with some history on the Latino Scholarship Fund.
Sure, I can do that. The Latino Scholarship Fund began in 1995 as a small group of folks from the Danbury area who were particularly concerned about the high number of dropouts from the high school and the low number of students attending college. We decided, if you will, to develop a scholarship organization with the very specific mission of providing money to students who were attending their first year of college. And that first meeting occurred in 1995, and the first scholarship was granted in 1996.
That's awesome. Now, was there a large Latino population or Hispanic population in Danbury at that time?
I don't know how large specifically in terms of the numbers, but it was significant enough to have made us take notice of the fact that the numbers of students graduating were not significant enough.
We took a look at what was called the strategic school profile, which most of the schools in the area do, with all the data, and they use it to promote their schools and what have you. And one of the things we noticed was, in comparison to the other identified groups, Latinos, fewer than 20% of the Latino graduates of Danbury High School were actually going on to post-high school education. And that was bothersome because most of the other groups had much higher numbers than that.
I see.
And, the Latino community, obviously, between the time we arrived here 30 years ago, the time we started the Scholarship Fund 12 years ago, has dramatically increased. Today, I think 25% of the Danbury school system is identified as Latino.
Wow, that's a large number.
That's a very significant number.
Okay. Now, since then, how many scholarships have been awarded?
Since 1996, when we gave the first scholarship, we have given 206. For the first year, I have the numbers here, if you'll bear with me. In 1996, we gave out a total of $10,000, and every year it's gone up. And this past year, 2006, we gave $50,000. Our hope and our mission, if you will, is to get to 100,000. And I'm hoping that, if at all possible, within the next 5 years, we'll be up to 100,000. That's our goal.
That's fantastic. Fantastic. And in '06, how many recipients?
In '06, we had 32 students for a total of 50,000. We have been between 10 students a year to a high of the 32 last year. I would say we average about 20 students a year, more or less.
Okay. All right. Now, what's the criteria needed for candidates who wish to apply for the scholarship?
Well, the scholarship is open to students from the Latino students from the greater Danbury area, which includes Bethel, Brookfield, I hope I get all of these now, Bethel, Brookfield, Danbury, New Fairfield, New Milford, Ridgefield, and Reading.
Okay.
And as Ileana mentioned, we target college, students who are graduating from high school and going to college for their first year. We require that the students have some Hispanic Latino connection, either a parent or a grandparent that was born in one of the recognized Spanish-speaking countries, and that the student have some identification with the Latino culture. Other than that, there's obvious academic, requirements. They have to have, decent grades, be college material, that kind of stuff. And the awards are basically based on financial need first and academics second. And we look at community involvement and commitment and character and integrity, I guess.
I see. Okay, so there's room for everybody to apply. Every Hispanic, It's not just financial need, because that's always a question that people ask.
That's correct. No, I mean, we don't exclude anybody, and the awards basically will be based on the number of applicants versus the amount of money we have available. So obviously, the more money we have available, but we have never said nobody can apply.
Okay.
We feel that it should be open to all Latinos as long as they feel that connection and, you know.
With the understanding that we weigh heavily children who come from low-income families.
Okay. I see. Now, how do you get the word out? Is it the high school? Does the high school administrators play a big role in getting the word out to the students?
Yeah, I mean, we rely on the high schools a good deal, but we also, you know, we have a very good website, and anybody who is trolling around is going to come across our website. We've received inquiries from as far away as Washington. I got an application from a student in Washington, the state of Washington. We've received inquiries and requests for, and even mailed, have received in the mail applications from California, you know, all over the place, different parts of the country, which is, you know, tells you that there's Latinos looking for money.
Of course. Now, would you consider an applicant from that area? No,
Absolutely not. We are, you know, unfortunately, I usually email them back that, you know, thank you for your, you know, your interest in the Latino Scholarship Fund, but we're a small local organization and we concentrate on, you know, this area. But what we, you know, what we have done on the website, because part of our mission we think is to help them find other sources. We've had the good fortune of having, actually it was done in large part by a former student who put together a list of, you know, various organizations that will provide money. So we took advantage of that, and I think we have 50 links on our website that these students can click on and look into as sources of money. But, you know, we primarily concentrate on the local area, and, you know, there's applications. We leave applications at all the area high schools. I mail them before the Christmas break every year to the, you know, the local high schools, and we leave some at the library. We leave some at the Hispanic Center of Greater Danbury on West Street. And, you know, at this point, after 12 years, most of the schools know that they're coming, and they get them out.
I see. Okay, now, can a student just go directly to your website?
Absolutely.
Or it's not just through the high school?
No, they can download the application. As a matter of fact, we're making progress. We're moving, you know, you keep moving ahead because it's become very, you know, the kids are very, very, you know, astute with all of this. They can download the application right off the website, along with the eligibility sheet. All the requirements that they need to fulfill is spelled out there. And this year, we asked that they register and schedule their interviews on the website. So we put up a calendar there, and we've never done this before, but the feedback I got, because we're in the process right now of going through the selection process. They're evaluating applications and interviewing students who've applied. And the feedback I got that it seemed to work fairly well. So, yeah, and then the question came up of maybe we can set it up so they can fill out the application right on the website, which, you know, is beyond me. I'm not that technologically savvy, but if it's doable, we'll try and do it just to make it easier for the kids.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of the kids don't have the parental, you know, help.
That was going to be my next question, because I know that some of these children are first generation, right? And some of their parents don't speak the language.
Yeah, they don't have that kind of background.
Exactly. So are the school administrators proactive in helping them?
Yeah, one of the things we've done is again, we've been very fortunate, but we have a couple of young people who are former recipients who are back in the area, one of whom is a board member of the Latino Scholarship Fund. She and another companion, who was also a former recipient, went into the high school last year and was a huge hit.
Great.
And the principal of the high school actually requested them by name. You have to send those two back this year. And they went back in, and the students, again, we got the feedback from the selection committee. The students were, you know, thought that those two characters there, those two young people were fabulous. They helped them a lot with their applications and understanding the process.
That's great. I mean, it's overwhelming just with the college applications alone. Then if you try to pursue, I mean, I have a daughter in college, so I know the whole scholarship thing is so overwhelming, and they really need a parental hand. And if you have those, I had the honor of meeting some of those recipients of your awards, and they're really great young people. I know they come back to help you guys, which is fabulous.
And we're trying very hard to pull the young people back in. So whenever we can, whenever we come across a student who has been a recipient, who has graduated from college and looks interested, we pull them in. So far, we have had success with, I would say, at least 3 or 4 students interested in helping us out. And, well, you were there the day we had the meeting
Right.
to attract advisors, and there were several
Right, I was so
young
impressed
people
that they were so into it.
appeared and showed some intense interest. So I
Sure,
think
they're
we're doing well in
obviously
that
grateful
area.
to the both of you and the fund
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
Well, there
gave
are
them
also
an
kids that we
opportunity.
kind of like. I know Ileana's always been very, community-minded, and based on who she is, community service and giving back is a huge part of who she is. And when you find young people, we want to make sure that they understand that somewhere along the line, everybody in life has gotten a helping hand from somebody.
Of course, right.
So give back.
Right, right. Now, we're at a time in American history where we're having a record number of people go to college. We see that the acceptance, there's so much competition. How does the Hispanic population compare to those large numbers now?
Well, based on what I got last year from the high school, something like 80% of Danbury's Latino graduates of the class of 2006 went on to post-high school education. Now, if you recall, I mentioned that when we started this, we read the strategic school profile, and it was fewer than 20%.
Wow.
I think we've had an impact on the community, and we're not going to take sole credit for it, but I think the school has done a pretty good job, and I think there's been pressure on the community because the community is only as good as its school system, really. And these kids have demonstrated that they have the ability. Give them a chance. They have language problems to overcome. And in terms of the overall graduation rate, I would say that the Latino students are right up there. I think they're right up there with everybody else.
I think really what it demonstrates is the fact that, like all children, like all new groups to America, when you give people the tools they need to succeed, more likely than not, they're going to succeed, and Latinos are no different. Unlike what some may believe about Latinos or Hispanics, we are interested in education. We do want our children to go to college. We do want our children to succeed, and whenever the opportunity arises, we do whatever we have to do to make that dream come true.
That's right.
And that's what you're seeing. What you're seeing is a concerted effort on the part of those parents who have the means to do it to encourage their kids to go to college or to go to some post-high school training. College is not for everybody, and that's okay. What we want to do, because let me just add real quickly that the Latino Scholarship Fund will fund training in programs other than 2- and 4-year colleges, so that if we have a student who's interested in going to electrical school or plumbing school or hairdressing school, that's fine, that's okay. What we're looking for is to help students who want to continue school/training past high school with the ultimate goal of having a good way of earning a living to become productive members of society, of the community, of Danbury.
Right. That's fantastic.
Okay.
And we've been very fortunate. We look at some of the places our kids have gone to school, and they've gone to some of the top universities in this country. A good number of them, for obvious economic reasons, will stay here in Danbury because WestCon is a very good school. But we've had kids that have gone off to Yale. They've gone. Last year's group, I think, I don't know how many, almost a third of them, I think, are up at UConn, which is a wonderful school with fairly rigorous academic standards. And they've gone to a whole bunch of schools all across the country, so they're not just kids squeaking in the back door. And we're pretty proud of that. And a lot of them are becoming very successful. So I think it's what we've done is had a definite impact.
And that presence there, it's encouraging. I mean, when I was in high school in the Bronx, we didn't have that encouragement. My mother, however, she was the encouragement that we needed to push us to go on to school, but there was no one in our high school that was encouraging going to college.
I think that is critical. I think that concretely we offer money, we offer scholarships, but the non-concrete offering that we make is the role modeling,
Exactly.
the message that, hey, you can go to college. Yes, you can make it. There are Latinos, there are Hispanos who are out there, they've gone to college, or they have managed to do what needs to be done to make a very good life for themselves and their families. So it's about role modeling. It's about giving hope. You know, it's very hard when you're a 13, 14, 15-year-old young person with a family where maybe mom and dad have a 6th grade education to you see yourself going to college. That's hard to do. But I can tell you right now that I'm here to say that can happen. My mom had a 3rd grade education, but you know what my mom had? My mom had vision, and my mom had the enthusiasm to push us, to encourage us, because every single of my brothers and my sisters are college graduates today, okay? And every single one of us has succeeded, despite the fact that our parents were not people with a lot of education, but they had a lot of dreams, and they never faltered in their enthusiasm and in pushing us.
I also think that, you know, we provide a forum under which the school system operates. They know that there are people out there in the community that have expectations of the education system, and we're going to hold them accountable. You know, when you make up 25% of that school population, you owe it to the taxpayers and to us who are taxpayers to, you know, to turn out the product and to do what you need to do to get these kids prepared for, you know, today's world. So I think, you know, in that sense, knowing that there's professionals out there that are interested in a specific group. I mean, the African American community does a wonderful job. They have, you know, extensive organizations that do the same thing. And it's borne fruit and it's had results.
Okay. And again, also I wanted to mention too the Hispanic youth out here in the Danbury area. There are tons of professional Hispanics in the Danbury area, and I'm learning that myself now. I've been in Danbury for a little over 14 years, and I'm getting involved in some programs where I'm meeting all of these highly educated and professional Hispanics, and I'm very impressed. And I want our youth to realize that, you know, all the professionals in this area are there's quite a lot of us out there, and we're there to help them and to encourage them just like everybody else. You know, we want to see them, and all young people go to college, which is, you know, the wave of America. Everybody's doing it, so we might as well be in on it too, right?
That's right.
Absolutely.
And I commend both of you. I think it's such a fabulous organization. And
thank you.
And my daughter was fortunate enough to become a recipient, and I'm very grateful, and that's why Ariel wants to come back and help you guys out as well.
We're going to see your son Hector pretty soon,
that's
too.
right.
Well, that's another nice thing, because now that we've done this over a period of time, we're seeing, you know, the 2nd and 3rd kids and families come through, and that's really gratifying, because you see the progression and you see the growth in the community. And, you know, that's just a wonderful feeling. I mean, I get a big kick out of it. I mean, fundraising is hard, but when you see the kids and you see the looks on their faces and hear them talk about going on to college and see the parents, that's what pulls it all together for you.
Right, and we're so proud. I mean, just when I was at that meeting with the Latino Scholarship Fund, I was so proud of these people that did come back and help you, because I'm saying, wow, they're doing it, and they sound so intelligent, and you can tell they're really getting the best out of their education.
Oh yeah,
so it really is fantastic. Now, obviously, you're able to do this by the funds you receive from your sponsors. Did you want to go over some of the sponsors that help you guys out?
Yeah, I mean, we have some wonderful sponsors. We get money from Union Savings Bank, which is a community bank that's been a supporter of ours almost from the day we started. They're a terrific organization, and they're committed all over Danbury to all kinds of good things, and they really, you know, I guess to signify what a community bank is, but, you know, they were just wonderful, because they were the first to step up to the plate. Boehringer Ingelheim has recently decided that there's a big future in hiring Latinos, and they now support us. General Electric, Savings Bank of Danbury.
Danbury Hospital.
Danbury Hospital funds 2 scholarships for Latino students. And there's a couple of other smaller foundations. There's the October Hill Foundation, which has been a supporter since we began. And, you know, there's just a lot of other people who contribute in a lot of other ways, financially and otherwise. you know, they're too numerous to mention, but, you know, they've all been there, and they're all, you know, committed. I mean,
Well, we also have several activities that we do during the year that also produce some funds. We have a dinner dance every year, usually in either September or October, that we use as a major fundraiser. And we've done this for like, what, 9 or 10 years now. And
11.
11
This will
years?
be our 12th, actually.
Okay.
It's a pretty slamming party, I feel.
It's a very hot party,
yeah,
I have to say. Our party is a party for people who not only do they want to give us money, but they like to dance salsa, because we always do a lot of salsa, and we like to eat. So it's a really nice party, October. So if anybody who's interested,
November 3rd
kindly
this
please
year.
tune into our website, because the invitation will be there. We also have had for the last 2 years something called the Round Table, and we're hoping to continue that this year. And that's a networking activity. And I'm hoping to grow that this year for the third year. And if we're fortunate and we're able to do it the way I envision, it'll be not only a fundraiser, but it will be a networking mechanism for young, soon-to-graduate college students and young professionals hoping to meet people who are in a position to offer them jobs.
I see.
Okay, and I think that'll be
great.
dynamite.
Of course.
The other thing that we have done is a women's luncheon. Every year for the last several years, we have done a luncheon for women who want to mix and mingle and maybe even network. And that has been a really nice event. So those are the major fundraisers that we've had thus far, and we're hoping to add a fourth. We're hoping to have at least 4 major events every year. We've got 3, we have 1 more to plan. Have to decide what we're going to do.
We don't have too much time left, but I just wanted to touch on something. Based on the College Board, Latino students comprise the largest growing segment of high school and potential college going populations. Now, unfortunately, in America, Latinos account for an overwhelming 25% of high school dropouts. Do you guys think that the language barrier has something? Obviously, that probably has something to do with the large dropout rate in the nation.
I mean, I would definitely say yes. I mean, you know, I don't have any statistics to cite, but I think that, quite frankly, common sense in my mind says absolutely. We have a law. I'll speak specifically to Danbury. Danbury has, as we all know, a large and ever-growing immigrant population. To wit, you have a large number of students who come into the system with English as their second language. These are students who are going to need a lot of support to be able to accomplish what comes so much easier to students who are proficient in English. A lot of those students, without those services, are not going to be able to compete. It creates frustration. It creates a lot of, quite frankly, failure on the part of some of the students who don't get that additional help. A lot of the students also come in with limited income. A lot of these students are coming in not with a whole lot of financial resources. A lot of these students need to work jobs to help parents maintain families, so that you're looking at a student who is going to school full-time in addition to maybe working 10, 20, and in some cases 30 or 40 hours a week. We have had applications from students who are working to supplement family income. They're not working to buy, you know, bubble gum or an extra pair of shoes.
Or an
These are
iPod.
students who are working to provide rent money and grocery money for their families.
But despite that nationwide number, Danbury High has been able to maintain such a high level of
I think I think it's a combination of factors. I mean, the whole dropout question is a fairly complex thing. I mean, there's a nationwide problem. with dropouts. And I'm talking about in middle America, okay, not in urban centers necessarily. And I think this country has to face, some hard questions about its education system. But certainly Latinos and new immigrants are, have a hell of a lot heavier burden to bear given the language difficulties they have to overcome and the economic pressures.
But we've seen a lot of strides, so that's good. I mean, compared to 10 years ago, that number has dropped. There was something like 32% dropouts as opposed to the 24%.
I think this area is in a lot better shape.
Right.
And, I think a lot of it depends on self-help groups in an area as well.
And I think organizations like yourself. So we have about 2 minutes left. Do you guys want to offer any final thoughts or direct the young people, whatever you'd like to actually?
The only thing I'd like to say to the young people is keep on doing what you're doing because you're doing the right thing. What did they say? Sigue adelante.
Sigue adelante. I like that.
And anybody who's interested in helping us, please feel free to, let us know, and we'll take whatever help you want to offer us. Human labor, whatever.
I would like to encourage those people who are looking for a worthy cause to give financial assistance as well as of their time to please consider the Latino Scholarship Fund. If Danbury is going to continue to thrive, our Latino community needs to get stronger, and whatever you can do to help us, please do so.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Best of luck, and I'm here to help with whatever I can.
Thank you so much for
joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us on Community Forum. See you next time.